When did first aid training make all the difference? It was during my daughter's 6th birthday party when the birthday girl next door started choking on cake, and I was the only parent there who knew the Heimlich maneuver well enough to act while everyone else stood frozen in panic. I'd taken a CPR and first aid course 6 months earlier when I started volunteering at my daughter's school. The instructor was this former paramedic who made us practice the Heimlich maneuver over and over until we could do it without thinking. Most of the other parents in the class complained about how repetitive the training was. We spent 2 hours just practicing on mannequins, learning the proper hand placement and thrust technique. I thought it was overkill at the time. The instructor kept saying, "Muscle memory saves lives," and made us practice scenarios where we had to react quickly under pressure. He'd suddenly yell, "Choking emergency," and we'd have to respond within seconds. I almost quit the class halfway through because it felt so intense and stressful. The instructor pushed us hard, making us repeat techniques until we got them perfect. He said hesitation kills people, so our responses had to be automatic. During Emma's party, all the kids were eating cake and laughing when suddenly little Katie from next door started making choking sounds. She couldn't speak, couldn't breathe, and her face was turning red. Every parent in the backyard saw what was happening, but everyone just stood there yelling, "Someone do something!" Katie's mom was screaming and patting her back, which made things worse by pushing the cake further down. Without thinking, I ran over and positioned myself behind Katie. The training kicked in automatically. One hand on her chest, the other making a fist just above her belly button, quick upward thrusts just like we'd practiced. On the third thrust, a chunk of cake flew out of Katie's mouth, and she started breathing again. She was crying and scared, but she was alive. The whole thing took maybe 30 seconds, but it felt like hours. Katie's parents were sobbing and thanking me, but I kept thinking about how close we'd come to tragedy. If I hadn't taken that class, if I'd hesitated or done it wrong, a little girl could have died at my daughter's birthday party. The paramedics arrived and checked Katie out, confirming she was completely fine. They told me I'd done everything exactly right and probably saved her life. Later, 3 other parents from the party signed up for the same first aid class. Katie's mom became an instructor herself, teaching other parents the skills that saved her daughter. That boring class I almost skipped because it seemed like common sense turned out to be the difference between life and death for a 6-year-old girl. Sometimes the most important knowledge you'll ever gain comes from a boring class you almost didn't take.